At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic podcast number 1588. July 30, 2025. 100 degrees on this day in 1933. 50 degrees in 1971. Call Josh at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
I got a number of emails from the Brainerd area. This one from Jeff in Brainerd, who writes, Brainerd Lakes area has a project in the works for the 371-210 interchange at Baxter. MnDOT is spending $58 million on what it calls a button hook. It's a 6-roundabout elevated interchange designed to alleviate congestion. With 6 new roundabouts in my near vicinity, I will be starting work on a storm shelter. Because on account of, you want to know why? Tornadoes.
Didn't have tornadoes here until we started putting into traffic circles. Because on the account of, you want to know why? When people go round and round in circles, it causes disturbance in the atmosphere and causes tornadoes.
Thank you.
I've never hit that intersection on a green light, Joe. Every time I go through that intersection, I sat there for a while.
You sat or sit?
No, I sat there for a while. Yeah.
Well, now they're going to have 6 roundabouts.
That is going to confuse this Swede, let me tell you. And I love roundabouts, but I'm already nervous about it.
Hail the flashlight king.
Hail you.
How about recruiting Joe Thompson for governor, and he can appoint his people to department heads? Wouldn't that be great to have a guy like Joe Thompson as the governor?
Or how about maybe a lieutenant governor under Qualls? Because since Kendall already announced his run.
Kendall would be a great choice. Joe Thompson would be anyone but Cockwomble. Because he's too expensive.
Scott Jensen.
Dr. Scott Jensen.
He's just too expensive. A new name for the city-owned grocery store, too. Stole Foods.
Oh, my God. Why didn't we think of that?
Who wrote this?
Approved.
Mike M. Stole Foods, S-T-O-L-E. I like that.
You want to do a poll question? What should we name the Minnesota?
Stacy, the GL geologist, weighed in on the earthquake in the eastern regions of Russia. It ties for the 6th largest earthquake ever recorded. And fortunately, not a lot of damage. Some tsunami warnings and watches, but overall limited damage. She's noted 50 aftershocks that are magnitude 5 or greater. But the tsunami threat, which was sounded in Hawaii and along the western seaboard of the U.S., that proved not to be a big problem. So that's a good thing.
I got to witness her excitement for her job or her former job last night. She sent me a text right after this happened, and it was classified as an 8.0.
Yep.
And then I got another text. It's an 8.2. Oh, no, it's an 8. And then this morning, it's all the way up to an 8.8.
Yeah. She was a doozy.
Weren't they doing evacuations, Ken, in Hawaii?
And I asked the very stupid question. I didn't call it a tsunami. I called it a tidal wave, which I think might be a cartoon thing.
Sure.
I don't think the tidal wave is actually a thing.
I'm glad you said that. I got yelled at my house for calling it a tidal wave.
Yeah, I don't know any better. I'm a dum-dum.
And you'll recall we found a piece where the Euphorians were complaining about a Blue Angels performance in Seattle. And one woman was suing the Blue Angels because her cat was disturbed by it. Dan Schultz lives in Buckley, Washington, and he writes, "This is Dan in Buckley, and when you started to talk about Seattle and the Blue Angels, I had several thoughts and things to write you about, but I'll try to be brief. I've written you a few times about living under our pack of socialists out here, but listening to the show makes me feel a little better that we're at least not as bad off as the Twin Cities." Wow. They're not as bad as we are. That's saying something. First of all, the protesting of the Blue Angels show is just goofy and textbook virtue signaling. I have to go to this event. Willie, listen to this. That show is part of our annual Seafair Festival, which is primarily centered around 2 full days of hydroboat racing on Lake Washington. Oh. The air show is just part of the festivities. I haven't done the calculations, but I'm quite sure the carbon emissions from all those boats racing around the lake are much more than the emissions from the air show. That doesn't even take into account the noise of the hydros versus the noise of the jets. It's really cool because not only can you watch from shore, if you are able to book a spot on one of the log booms, you can just stay out in the lake all weekend. On a side note, one of the coolest afternoons of my life was spent on that lake in one of those tourist harbor cruise boats that was parked at the end of the safety zone during the race, but that they keep clear during the show. Seeing the show from about as close as you can legally be and having those planes also thunder right over on top of you at less than 200 feet is amazing. Wow. As far as the Seattle area and Puget Sound, Kenny and Chris are right. I'm originally from Minnesota, but have lived here now for more than 30 years. Politics notwithstanding, I'd be hard-pressed to find a better place to live. The scenery is absolutely phenomenal. We hardly ever get over 90 degrees and seldom below freezing. We don't have any biting bugs, and you can go skiing in the morning and play golf in the afternoon if you really wanted to. If you or any of the boys are ever out here, I'd be happy to take you out on the Sound, but we can try to track down a pod of killer whales or porpoises. I'm pretty sure the other guys would be game for the whale watching, but for some reason I have the feeling you would just rather see them from shore. Not me. I have been whale watching. I love it. All the best to you and the crew, Dan Schultz. I saw whales on a fishing excursion in Mexico.
I would prefer to watch whales from the biggest ship on the ocean. Yeah. Those things scare the hell out of me. Joe Buckley is an outer ring suburb of Seattle on the very edge of the forest, and I'll bet you that he is sitting in his yard looking right at Mount Rainier. Ooh. Because it's in between Mount Rainier and Seattle. Cool. Very beautiful.
I was going to say I got in trouble because I wasn't in Houston. I don't want to get in trouble because I've spent time in Seattle, just not enough time to appreciate what must be there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I've been following some car news because GLers are cylinder oriented. We love our cylinders. And there's a provision in the one big, beautiful bill that has gone unnoticed. The CAFE standards are gone for the automobile manufacturers.
Explain. I don't know what that is. Explain that to me.
I will.
Thank you for asking.
And I'm reading from, Insight. I'm reading from Issues and Insights. For 50 years, the federal government has been forcing fuel economy standards on please look up CAFE standards, capitalized CAFE. What's it an acronym for? For 50 years, the federal government has been forcing fuel economy standards on auto companies. If the average fuel economy of the cars sold by a given manufacturer in a year exceeded a federal standard, the companies had to cough up enormous penalties. That's why when Ford would build big 250 pickups, you were getting a lot of Pintos and Escorts to help bring the mileage down, get it? Because the mileage had to meet a certain standard.
Corporate average fuel economy standards are regulations in the U.S. that mandate a minimum average fuel economy for a manufacturer's fleet of new vehicles. They are administered by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Passed in 1975 as a way to deal with the energy crisis that was caused in the first place by government price controls, corporate average fuel economy standards required the fleet of cars sold by an automaker to achieve an arbitrary miles per gallon. In other words, this was dreamed up by our political class. They dreamed up a mileage that was then applied to the manufacturer, and if you exceeded that over your corporate fleet, you had to pay penalties. Well, you know what else that resulted in? A lot of unsafe cars, because they built little puny cars that weren't as good in accidents.
Sturdy.
If they missed the goal, they paid fines. From the beginning, these standards were a disaster, forcing automakers to radically downsize their fleet, which research showed cost thousands of lives because, all things being equal, smaller, lighter cars are less safe than larger ones. In fact, a 2002 National Academy of Sciences found that these fuel economy standards not only boosted the cost of cars, but may have caused as many as 2,600 more traffic fatalities just in 1993. The standards were ratcheted up year after year. They wildly distorted the car market. To meet them, automakers had to sell more small cars than consumers wanted to buy, which meant heavily discounting them and then making up the cost by jacking up the prices on the bigger cars most buyers wanted or needed. So you were paying a lot more for your Chevy Suburban than you might have had to.
Yeah.
Car makers routinely paid extravagant fines for failing to meet the standards. Last year, Chrysler had to write a check to Uncle Sam for more than $190 million.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Wow.
And because the government set tighter standards for passenger cars than light trucks, the industry responded by killing station wagons and replacing them with minivans and SUVs, negating much of the fuel savings the CAFE standards were supposed to produce.
Interesting. Wow.
Worse, while Republican administrations would sometimes try to dial the mandate back, Democrats would crank them up. Obama imposed a fuel economy mandate that was supposed to hit 54.5 miles per gallon for cars and light-duty trucks by this year, which, as we pointed out in the pages of Investors Business Daily at the time, was designed to force EVs onto the marketplace, because even compact hybrid cars cannot get that kind of mileage. In his first term, Trump rolled the standard back, only to have Biden come in and impose standards specifically designed to force most cars sold to be electric. So this has been purely political. Democrats want created unrealistic mandates, and then Republicans would try to pare them back.
And look what Obama did. He set those goals really high. So that means the government started collecting checks, right?
Sure.
So the government's making money. And then at the same time, he's getting backslapped from the greenies, the green crowd, for putting these mandates in place. It was a win-win for him.
This time around, Trump is again planning to roll the CAFE standards back. But Congress did him one better. Rather than wait for regulators to rewrite the rule, which can take years and be subject to endless lobbying and litigation, lawmakers simply zeroed out the penalty as part of the one big, beautiful bill. It's gone.
So, you finish first. I have a theory.
Now, if a car company sells cars that on average exceed whatever the fuel economy limit is technically in force in a given year, they pay nothing. The mandate is still in place, but the penalty is now zero. Republicans pulled off the same trick with the dreaded Obamacare insurance mandate, zeroing out the penalty rather than trying to get the mandate repealed. Yet, despite this breakthrough, the death of CAFE, corporate average fuel economy, got no coverage from the mainstream press, which was too busy trying to find the birthday card that Donald Trump sent to Jeff Epstein. All right.
Yeah,
So
which
true.
is nice, fun diversion, isn't it?
But automakers noticed, as one car enthusiast noted on Instagram, the immediate industry response proves how quickly things can change when regulations lose their bite. Stellantis, which is Chrysler, just brought its legendary Hemi V8 engines back from exile and announced the return of the SRT Speed Shop, famous for cranking V8s to extreme power levels. This marks a dramatic reversal of the downsizing trend that saw turbocharged four-cylinder engines replace V6 across mid-size cars, SUVs, and even large pickups over the last decade. Environmentalists, scolds, and Democratic socialists won't be happy with this turn of events, and Trump still needs to officially end the federal CAFE mandate. But car buyers should rejoice because consumers, not bureaucrats, will once again be in the driver's seat. The death of CAFE could very well signal the rebirth of the U.S. auto industry.
Here's today's environmental statistics.
I just love it. I love the news. Nothing about it frightens me in terms of saving our mother. Yes,
I
Kenny?
don't have a theory. I have a question. Do you suppose the CAFE standards were part of the reason why the price of a new car has skyrocketed so much? And second part of the question, do you think the prices will drop now?
Yes, I do. And yes, I do to your first answer. The CAFE standards, I'm trying to remember. It was Jimmy Carter era. Gas lines were really long.
It would have been Ford. It started in like 73.
Started in 75.
Oh, it was that late.
And there were long lines at the gas stations back then. There was oil embargoes on the Middle East, and gas was real tough to get. And the next thing you know, the world was full of Pintos and Chevy Vegas and all of these other crackpot tin can cars. And it's been ever thus until now. I suppose what Chrysler paid $190 million in fines. I suppose sometimes the manufacturers just couldn't pull it off. They couldn't get their CAFE numbers correct, and they had to write the check.
Wow. It affected factory involvement in racing, snowmobiles, motorcycles, and automobiles. Factories started pulling back out of racing.
And if it was such a good idea, why does its repeal go unnoticed? In other words, there's been no environmental hysteria about its repeal going unnoticed. But if it was such a wonderful idea, why has the temperature been turned up on by crackpots who think the end of the world is coming?
Do you think the temperature has been turned up? Because I was about to say it seems like the green movement is petering out.
Well, under Trump, the green movement will peter out, but as soon as you get another Democrat in there, the green movement will power up again.
I'm sensing a relief from a lot of people in both parties that are like, you know what, I was tired of that anyway. We don't care that much.
So you're saying wait for President AOC to ratchet it up again?
Whoa.
I wish you'd stop saying that.
I'm sorry. It's very hurtful.
Yeah, it is.
Is it also because the only thing I was wondering is it too confusing? Because none of us knew about it until...
I knew about it.
Well, I know you did, but the four of us didn't really know about it until...
you all knew there were CAFE standards. You just didn't dwell on it.
Yeah, I knew about the Obama thing and the 53 miles or whatever it was.
And, if you look at a new car, aren't the window stickers just chock full of mileage information?
Yeah.
It gets so much in the city, it gets so much on the highway. And there's nothing wrong with being conscientious about getting great gas mileage.
Well, for sure. We all are.
That's wise counsel. That falls under the realm of last dropping. Let's get the best gas mileage we can.
Sometimes I don't floor it on on-ramps.
Yeah,
it's
me
very
too.
seldom, but most of the time that's an opportunity for me to put my foot to the floor. Yeah.
I mean, euphorians think that GLers drive like maniacs. GLers probably drive as sensibly as anybody.
Lock her in. Set that cruise control. Don't touch the brake.
I had a car that the mileage went up the further I drove it.
You got better mileage the further you drove it.
Yeah.
What kind of...
No, here's what I'm trying to say.
No, that kind of makes sense to me.
This car had a range. You could read the range left, 300 miles. Yeah. All right. Let's say I started...
this is a Top Gear episode, Joe.
Okay, no.
I'm really scared here.
No, I can do this.
This is math.
I know. Okay, I started with a range of 400 miles.
Right. Yeah.
Now I'm driving to Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I set the cruise at 73. I'm figuring.
Yep.
I'm figuring Barney's going to give me 73.
Yeah.
And I looked out at the range once in a while, and suddenly the range is 420 miles.
Yeah. Same here.
Okay, now I don't touch it. I'm still 73. Then I'll be damned if a half hour later, the range wasn't still 420 miles.
Yep.
What is your miles per gallon on that vehicle, roughly?
That thing, I don't know.
30?
Obviously,
it doesn't matter.
It was 35 miles to the. I mean, it was just. But all I know is the longer I drove, the more the range increased.
It's the same, I think, with all vehicles. That's why I don't think the miles per gallon matters.
Well, the only reason I ask is that same thing occurred to me, but it happened to me. But the problem is, once I realized, I'm playing with house money here. I hear, Dad, I gotta go pee.
Okay,
damn it!
Right.
That's what I was going to bring up. Those trips, Joe, were you solo?
Yeah.
So that means you didn't stop very often, right?
I stopped twice.
Yeah. And then my secret is I don't touch the brakes while I'm rolling. I click off the cruise if I need to slow down, and then I reset it so it slowly speeds,
so you're just
picks
coasting?
back up. So I never, if I don't have to, I don't touch the brakes.
I'm going to let you in here. You know, a pathetic new thing I've been doing in the fairly infrequent times I drive long distances. I make a lunch.
What do you mean?
I'd rather eat something homemade
for sure.
on the fly than stop at a fast food.
You're not going to mock you there.
Yeah, there's no resistance there.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
I make more of a mess.
But it's even better if my roommate makes the lunch, because we could make the same sandwich. Hers always tastes better.
Did I say?
Agreed.
Did I say I made it?
Yeah.
Whoa. Words have meaning.
I requested that it was.
Okay.
You know what's best in that situation? We are nuts, and wearenutsaman.com. I'm kidding.
Take a few nuts with you?
Well, you just have it on the side.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, the cafe standards are gone. I'm sure they'll return in the event of a different administration, but I think it's great news. I'm sure the automobile manufacturers are dancing in the street. It's just been a constant struggle. Well, that's why you got so many crap cans.
Yeah.
The Chevy, the customer wanted the Suburban and the Explorer and the big Dodges, and that's what the manufacturers wanted to provide, but to please the government and satisfy these cafe requirements, they also had to fill a lot with these little things that they were constantly putting on sale to try to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
So there.
Yeah.
Don't think I won't. Don't think I won't. Say, summer's a great time to replace that garage door. I know I've been saying that, but it's because it makes sense. I'm not going to replace a garage door in the dead of winter. Let's get it over with while the getting's good. So get a hold of Precision Door. They serve western Wisconsin and the entire metro area. They take care of every daily need you might have for your garage door going on the fritz, but in the event you need a new door, now would be the time to do it. They have models of doors for every budget. GLers get $100 off a single door right now and $200 off a double door. The designer comes out, you shoot the breeze, you pick the door, bing, bang, boom, you're done by the time the snow flies. Increases the value of your home, the aesthetics, security, insulation. It's the way to go and get it done in the summer. Call Precision Door, 612-263-6985, or go online. You can schedule a routine visit or a free on-site new door estimate online at Precision Door MN, one word, precisiondoormn.com.
Reavers here once again for my guy, Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Well, sometimes the anxiety from wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? Well, Mr. Money Talk is going to be able to sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk, never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute, no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608 and set up your free 48-minute, no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorser.
Good. Latte schmate. Here's Joe Souchere.
A lot has changed in the coffee world in the last 35 years, and Stephen at customroasting.net has seen it all. His history goes all the way back to growing up in Canby, where he opened up a coffee shop after going to roasting classes. Now here it is, 2025, customroasting.net, and the employees are a vital part of Buffalo, and they've been roasting coffee for many years there with a variety of blends and flavors. When you go to the website, customroasting.net, you're going to see the Garage Logic tab right away. It's at the top of the landing page. If you click on that, that'll bring up the GL starter. It's a variety pack, a starter pack. It gives you a taste of the varieties they have, starting with the darkest to the lightest, my favorite French roast. And I've tried all of these. The Boundary Waters blend, that's really good. The Morning Blend, Columbia, Excelsior, all of them really good. I've had them, and last weekend I did the Morning Blend and the Columbia and loved them. Wonderful coffee. Be sure when you get to that website to bop around a little bit. You can see how they do it. You can see the roasting machine. It's really impressive. And like I've said before, there's no shelf time for this coffee. When you order it on the website, they roast it and then they send it. So it's not sitting on a shelf for any period whatsoever. It all started 35 years ago in Canby, but Stephen has seen it all. He's been roasting coffee the whole time. Wonderful coffee at a very reasonable price, delivered right to your door. Go to customroasting.net.
I'm going to play right into the hands of American Eagle. They make blue jeans. And an actress named Sydney Sweeny, about whom I know very little, except she was in a Rolling Stones video.
I'll say.
For one of their most recent songs. John, help me.
I can't think of the name.
Neither can I, but I love the song. It was really good, and they did it most.
How was the video? Was the video
good? It was Corn Sweat, I think was the name.
No,
of the
it was not. But she's in a car riding down Sunset Boulevard, I think in a Mustang. And it may be hers. Rookie looked her up off air. She's a car enthusiast. She's restored a Mustang and a Bronco. And
Angry is the song.
Angry is the song by the Rolling Stones, and she was in the video. That's all I knew of her until this. Apparently, there's a big controversy because she does a blue jeans commercial for an outfit that makes jeans called American Eagle. And I watched the ad today. Having not, has it been on TV routinely?
It's very present on social media. I don't know if it's been on TV or not, but it's everywhere on social media.
Anyway, I didn't think it was a big deal. I don't know what the controversy is. She wears jeans, but at the end, I think there's some type that says a typeface that says Sydney. What's her name? Sydney Sweeny has good genes, but they spelled jeans with a G on that occasion. Mm-hmm. So what?
Right.
I'll say she has good genes. Look at her.
I'm watching.
Are you purposely being like this, or do you really not get it?
Well, Kenny, let me finish before you take me apart. I'm now...
Joe, I'm sorry. I don't want to take you apart.
I'm now of the opinion that the advertising was done purposely that way.
Yep.
Because here I am discussing it. But they're accusing the company of eugenics and what, the preference of white genes over. I don't know. Take me apart because I'm lost.
She's pale. She's blonde. She's blue-eyed. So the protesters are saying this is master race nonsense. The rest of us, especially the guys in the crowd, in the audience, when they say good genes, we know that they're referring to her ample bosoms.
We're referring to her pants.
Well, she's got a flat ass, but she's got an ample bosoms.
Okay, but here we've talked about this before.
Yes, sir.
There are dark people in the world, not skin color. Their view of the world is of darkness. And you would have had to get up in the morning intending to be offended by something and come across this and then invent something to be offended by. You would have had to dream up your offense out of whole cloth.
This is an age-old I can't believe I'm shooting my wad on this when I plan on breaking this down on Krabby today.
Well, I think you should save it for Krabby then.
Well, I'm devoted to your program, so I just we don't share a lot of. Well, maybe we do. I don't know, but I'll say it anyway. This is an age-old advertising tactic. Sometimes it works. In this case, it's working. In the case of Bud Light, it backfired, and it affected sales. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember what happened?
Yeah.
And I am so cynical that I am willing to bet that somebody on the inside of the jeans company was the one that spurred and started the protesting.
Because in 2025, Kenny's spot on. In 2025, that is the absolute best way to generate buzz with who you are targeting as your demographic. The 15 to 30-year-old female and their stock, by the way, skyrocketed in the last couple of days.
So here's what, before you start again, Joe, you were on the right track by ignoring this, and you do this a lot, and it drives us, your staff members, crazy, where you say, I'm not talking about that, that's BS. In this case, you were on the right track right up until you brought it up on the air. Now you fell into their hands and you blew it. You blew it, pal. You blew it. Because you just gave them... go ahead.
I happen to believe you're correct that this was done by design, which means it's even worse than I think, because not only are there dark people, there are people who anticipate what the dark people will get dark about.
Yes, absolutely.
But in all honesty, this is the way a successful ad campaign is run, completely designed for social media.
So the bottom line is we're being run as an American people. We're no longer thinking for ourselves if we respond to this nonsense. The government, no matter who's in charge, is running us, and big advertising companies are running us. And I have more examples on today's Krabby of this.
Okay.
And Mike and I talked about this yesterday. He made a great point on the Weekly Scramble podcast, as long as we're throwing in plugs. The advertising executives now are no longer the Mad Men style where they're trying to figure out the perfect TV ad campaign. Maybe they are for things like the Super Bowl, but what they're doing now, they're only trying to create social media buzz. Because earlier you asked about, is this on TV? I have no bleeping idea. I don't even watch live TV anymore. My point is, unless it's a ball game, my point is this is exactly what they're trying to do, is generate social media buzz.
Our advice to GLers listening to this that don't know what we're talking about, blessed be you. Don't seek it out. Just go on with your life and ignore everything. You guys are the winners.
Yeah. And I was unaware of this ad, completely unaware of this ad until you guys mentioned it before the show. So I went and watched it. I thought, well, there's nothing there to be upset about. There's, you were, like Joe said, looking for something. But then I did further research, and I don't know if you guys saw this. This is disturbing. Did you see what Don Jr. posted?
No.
He posted an AI picture of Donald Trump, the president, in denim, lying like Burt Reynolds. Remember Burt Reynolds spread?
And his own kid posted that?
Don Jr. posted it, and he posted the comment, "So hot!" exclamation point.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
Well, not really.
Well, it's kind of funny. He's having a laugh.
You know what? I'm confused. I'm confused about the world.
Well,
and blessed be you for that.
And the funny thing is, too, because I was trying to find the post that I saw yesterday regarding this, a lot of people that are upset about this are your typical blue-haired, nose ring,
And they totally bit on the hook.
And they bit on the hook. But what's funny is someone had then reposted in a response to the outrage of the Sydney Sweeny ad is a Calvin Klein ad from May 10th of 2022 where a woman is laying on the bed holding the stomach of a pregnant man. And that was I remember seeing that ad.
Bleep you!
3 years ago. That's just it. So I'm supposed to expect that that's normal?
And
Brooke
that
Shields
originated
did this 40 years ago.
Yeah. And that pregnant man thing originated with Monty Python back in the 70s. Remember that scene? I think it might have been Life of Brian.
Don't black influencers do this all the time where they insist that only black is black, it's the best, blah, blah, blah. Black, black female rap artists and black influencers are always proselytizing on behalf of the superiority of the black race, and we're the most beautiful, and you're not getting any argument out of me, by the way, on one of the ones I saw.
Sure.
And isn't this just a typical BS for everybody?
We're being played. It's Life in the Truman Show.
Are we watching a movie?
Yeah, you're right. We're watching the movie that we're in, currently filming, watching at the same time.
But the thing is, you guys, they wouldn't do it if it didn't work. And it's working.
Do you think it was,
okay, sorry, Ken.
Chris, do you think it's bold? Because it backfired for Bud Light.
Oh, yes. So you do have to be careful. But
you're taking. Everyone will take the risk, and they blew it with Bud Light. They knew they were taking a risk,
and they still haven't recovered from it. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, Ken, if they wouldn't do it if it didn't work. Let's put this into perspective. When's the last time any single one of you thought about American Eagle?
I've never heard of them.
I never heard of them.
I thought it was some accessory for Harley Davidson, like black leather vests.
Never heard of
it. Worked.
Isn't that the name of it's a gay bar downtown Minneapolis?
No, that's just the Eagle.
The Eagle. Oh, the Eagle.
Not that I would know.
Are they a brand new company, I wonder?
Oh, God, no. They've been around forever.
They've been around forever.
Yeah.
I ain't never heard of them.
I know.
I have
you want to know why?
shirts there.
What, John?
So I have purchased shirts there.
American Eagle? They have a store at the mall or something?
No, there's a place up here in Coon Rapids where there's an American Eagle.
I'll be damned.
About 2 minutes from my house.
Are the jeans made in China?
I don't know. I don't. I've been there like twice in 15 years. So.
Well, anyway, people look for
stuff to be offended about.
Yeah, and they find it, and it's just amazing to me.
Can we go to break so I can watch the Sydney Sweeny video on Rolling Stone?
It's hardly titillating. She's just struggling into some jeans.
Yeah.
And
no, I meant the Rolling Stone video.
Oh, that's a good. The Mustang is a good. Maybe it's hers. I don't know.
She was
take a break.
Of her class.
The Mustang,
was,
Chris.
Yes.
Be sure to concentrate on the Mustang, Chris.
Feast on that car, man.
I will. But first, I want to tell the fine folks here in Garage Logic about our friends at We Are Nuts and wearenutsmn.com. I've been talking this entire month about this great special going on right now. You have 1 day, Joe. One more day to take advantage of this fantastic
offer. So that ran
offer.
through July only.
That's right. So you have one more day through the end of the month of July to take advantage of the best of Toffee Nuts Nut House 4-pack. It's $10 off. We've had a couple of coworkers here take advantage of this opportunity. So go to wearenutsmn.com, but you have
to use... They got any of them cashews?
Well,
yes.
Somebody from the staff that'll go nameless tried to walk off with my cashews that were gifted to me.
I didn't do it.
I'm canning.
I didn't do it.
And they were devoured instantly once they got home. But they're fantastic. And the thing is, you got to use the discount code GL Nuthouse at checkout.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
And I'm sure the U.S. Nuts guys, or us, We Are Nuts. U.S. Where did I get that?
They're the U.S.
I think cashews are almost fruit-like.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. They're a different kind of nut. I used to name all the nuts.
I don't like fruit that squirts. Is that what you mean? Because they don't squirt?
They don't squirt.
Okay. Thank you. That's $10 off the Best of Toffee Nuts Nut House 4-pack using the promo code GL Nut House. And in that 4-pack, you're going to get the Maple Bourbon Toffee Almonds, which are fantastic. The Original Toffee Peanuts, which are great. The Cinnamon Toasted Toffee Peanuts with vanilla ice cream are exceptional. And also the Hot Nuts Toffee Peanuts are all there for you. But you have one more day to take advantage. So make your order online at wearenutsmn.com and make sure you mention that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast. Joe, when are we going to be at the Minnesota State Fair? Explain to the GLers what days and what time we're going to be at the Great
There are 2
Minnesota
Fridays in the State Fair.
Yes, sir.
We're there each of those Fridays.
What time?
The first Friday and the last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be broadcasting a live 1-hour show beginning at noon.
Yes.
From the KSTP television stage.
Yes.
What else do you want to know?
About 1 hour. And the thing is, we are still going to be selling merchandise at the original Talk Shop location.
Which is right over there.
Right next door.
You can get there.
And you can get your
bleachers there, right, Chris?
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
In fact, we did it's
Get
the
there
same
early.
spot that we did the show the very first year we were a podcast. And it was so much fun. And we're very grateful for the fine folks at KSTP for having us. And if you want more information, it'll be coming soon to the website. Just go to garagelogic.com.
I hope so. I mean, it's a month away. You'd think it'd be up there by now. But,
well, you haven't passed your AI test yet on the computer,
I
so
have
that's
not.
why. Anyway, go to garagelogic.com to find out more information. But it's the 2 Fridays, and we'll see you at the Great Minnesota Get Together.
Yes.
Here we go.
The Earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Here's John Heidt.
Thank you, Joe. This news update brought to you by North American Banking Company. If you're not aware of this, we once again have an air quality alert in effect through Saturday for the Minnesota and Wisconsin areas. For the next several days, we'll see smoke across the state from those wildfires in Canada under a partly to mostly sunny sky. The smoke will be with us to some extent for the rest of the week and maybe all the way into Saturday evening.
You'll feel the grit on your car.
Stop burning stuff.
Don't they get rain in Canada?
I don't know, but this has been brutal.
A Hennepin County judge says a local housing developer violated consumer fraud protection laws and now must issue refunds to clients who paid thousands of dollars to reserve homes that were never built. We talked about this story a couple times. The ruling against Nalosha Development and its owner, Abdullahi, marks the end of a year-long fight in court with the Minnesota Attorney General's office. Attorney General Keith Ellison had sued Nalosha and Abdullahi last October, accusing the developer of selling pre-reservations to clients looking to reserve a unit at Nalosha Lakeville, a planned community marketed to East African families. The problem, Nalosha never actually owned the land near Interstate 35. It was previously seized from a defendant charged in the Feeding Our Future fraud investigation. After months of court orders to provide info, like a client list, Judge Christian Sandy called out an alarming pattern in the defendant's absolute refusal to comply. Without that information, he said the state still does not know precisely how many people gave money to defendants, how much money was given to defendants, how defendants spent the money, and how much money, if any, is left. The judge writing that in a default
Other than
judgment.
that, they got her all locked down.
Well, the good thing is it's a Somali at least defrauding fellow Somalis.
A couple of local fellas.
However, allegedly.
The Attorney General's office previously stated Nalosha took more than $1 million in deposits from prospective clients. Our buddies down at 5 Investigates found Abdullahi outside the Nalosha offices in Eden Prairie yesterday, where men were loading a U-Haul truck with office furniture, but Abdullahi was gone before he could be asked for comment. An eviction notice from the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office was taped to the door to Nalosha's suite. Abdullahi later sent a text messages to 5 Eyewitness News saying he was, quote, not available for comment.
The guy was going to put the planned community down there. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
With the bell ringing at the hour, the whole thing. And these Somalis lined up to pay him $25,000. I wonder how many of the $25,000 checks were funded by food fraud money.
Great question.
I have no idea. And then this guy never owned the land in the first place.
Wasn't this an episode of Rockford Files?
The Great Indian Lake Land Development Company. was the name of that one. Yeah. And they made
nothing.
Angel the fake owner of the land.
That should be the first sign right
When
there.
you got the water, when you got the Wawa, you got the deal.
Star Tribune reporting that state of emergency continues today in St. Paul after officials shut down the city's digital infrastructure and worked to stop the spread of a cyber attack that began last Friday. Computers at city libraries, rec centers were not connected to the internet. There's no Wi-Fi at City Hall. Online payment systems that handle water and sewer bills not functional. St. Paul's 911 and other emergency response systems are still working, according to Mayor Melvin Carter, but many other city systems remain shut down in an attempt to contain the attack. City workers were told they will get a paycheck during the next pay period on August 8th. It's not yet clear why St. Paul was targeted, officials said, or what data might be at risk. The mayor declared a state of emergency that allows the city's departments of emergency management and Office of Technology and Communications to mobilize support from local, state, and federal officials.
John, help me understand something. What is the National Guard going to do? Stand there with guns in front of the water department so you don't pay your bill? What the hell is the National? They got a cyber unit.
Yeah, they got a cyber unit.
That's what we use in the event of a cyber attack. Is the National Guard?
Well, probably whoever is available would be my guess. Don't you think? I know the FBI was involved. They said yesterday. So
don't we got cyber people? We
call the computer department.
We got a government the size of God knows what. We don't have cyber people.
Do you know what I heard?
What?
None of those people employed by the city of St. Paul completed their AI training.
Yeah, I got a note that I'm supposed to do that, and I don't even know what it means.
I think all those cyber people they're working remotely, aren't they?
I think so. That's the great thing about the city-run grocery store. What if the people decide to work remotely?
Check them out from Hopkins.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the store it is.
Stoll Foods.
Stoll Foods, that's
Stoll
right.
Foods.
A couple of Minnesota and Twin Cities business notes. Another Walmart up here on the North Metro is closing down. The company confirming the Coon Rapids location along Riverdale Drive Northwest will close on August 29. There are about 180 people who work at that location. The company says they are all eligible to transfer to another store. Walmart spokesperson said the closure is partly due to financial performance, the location being near other stores, and that its older format doesn't offer what customers want, like a full grocery store. The Walmart on Shingle Creek Crossing, remember, in Brooklyn Center closed in April of 2023 with the company saying it wasn't bringing in enough revenue, but police data also showed it was a hotspot for crime.
You know, this city-owned grocery store is brought to you on account of, you want to know why?
On account of, you want to know why?
It's a part of the mystery. What they're doing is they're attempting to sell you on the idea that even shopping for groceries is a white affectation.
You're right.
That it's brought to you by corporate America, and the only white people with minivans can go to the store and buy food. You've been excluded from that, and if we could only build a city-owned grocery store, all problems would be solved, which is utter nonsense. What you have as the country continues to unravel is the constant struggle between the way the country's supposed to be and the way the Mysterians want it to be. For example, Cub is in business to make money. Cub Foods is in. That's right. Why they're in business, to make money, selling you food. And if they go out of business, they went out of business because they can't make money.
Right.
Which means you, as a Mysterian who have no experience doing anything in your life, you're not going to top Cub at making money. You're going to lose more money than Cub ever dreamed of losing. Thank you.
And what's funny, I was just looking at the store locator for Walmart. Now that this store is closing, if let's say you're a Minneapolis resident, and not that Walmart is the end-all, be-all, do you know how far you're going to have to drive to just get a Walmart? You have to go to Fridley.
Wait a minute. Wait, Chris, that's incorrect. In fact, the reason probably this, there's one in Andover that's about 3 minutes away. That's why this one is closing.
Oh, because I'm looking at the store locator,
Maybe
John.
It's an outdated locator, Chris, and we'll turn back to
I'm
John
within
now.
5 minutes of both stores, and the Andover one is far newer.
But you're not a Minneapolis resident, is what my point was.
I think it's all AI.
Well, what does these two stores have to do with Minneapolis? You wouldn't go from Minneapolis to Coon Rapids to shop.
That was the whole point, though, is that in the city, you have to drive a long distance if you're a Minneapolis resident, was my point.
Not to a Lund's.
But it doesn't involve these stores, though, I think would be my point. If you're a Minneapolis resident.
To back up what Chris is saying, we used to go to the Walmart on 494 and, well, I don't know, Nicollet, Portland,
Yes.
somewhere down there on the strip.
Yep.
Why? To shop? For food?
That was the one closest to them.
No, to pick up chicks, you dumbbell. You biscuit eater. Let's go here.
In all honesty, everybody who lived up here thought that Walmart was going to close 10 years ago after the new one opened. And, it hung on this long, so we were pretty amazed. Polaris will likely record a third consecutive quarterly loss amid a sputtering leisure industry and higher costs from tariffs. On Tuesday, the Medina-based company said it lost $79 million during April, May, and June on sales that dropped 6%, mainly because of discounting. CEO Mike Speetson said the company is concentrating on controlling what it can, shifting as much of its supply chain as possible from China, continuing to wring costs out of manufacturing and discounting as conservatively as possible. But this year has to be about positioning for the long term, he said, because short-term prospects for both tariffs and consumer sentiment are too choppy to predict.
John, that story was also another story on the business section today was protesters are hectoring the Target company, Target Corporation, for selling eggs that apparently are not the way the protesters want them because they're from chickens who are caged, and they want uncaged chickens. And I just think it would be a pain in the ass right now to be the head of a company like Target and have to deal with these crackpots. You know what they're seeing? They're seeing Lassie's farmyard, where Timmy lives with Lassie, and Mom comes to the door once in a while and shoos a chicken away from the door, and then they take a basket out, a little basket, and they bring in 6 eggs and have eggs for breakfast. What the hell do you people want? I don't get it. It's just, you're nuts. You know what? You're nuts. On account of, I'll tell you why. You're nuts.
We are nuts, MN.com.
Yeah.
But there's enough supermarkets that have free-range chickens. You go to Whole Foods, Mississippi Market, all those people have free-range chickens.
If they're free-range chickens,
excuse me.
If they're free-range chickens, wouldn't their eggs be free-range?
Yes. I'm saying there's other options than Target.
See those chickens over there?
Have I ever told you the story about the town chicken we had in my town?
A town chicken.
You have the sounder, Chris?
Oh, you need the real sounder. I didn't know we were going down that road.
Is this
today.
the one that passed out?
No.
When it gave the cockadoodle?
Hey, y'all. Here's Kenny with news from the Krabby Coffee Shop.
Mrs. Red showed up one day from parts unknown and would walk up and down Main Street saying hello to the visitors and the passers-by. And this went on for a couple of weeks until finally the business owners got a little tired of Mrs. Red because she would stroll right into the Knack Hardware store, or the post office, or the auto body store, and proceed to chicken poop all over everything and drop an egg or two and then leave. So finally, Mrs. Red was caught and delivered to the countryside.
Is Mrs. Red the name of the chicken?
Yeah, Mrs. Red, now currently residing parts unknown out in the country.
Was the earth uneven? Where were they taking the eggs to?
The hatchery.
The hatchery, yeah.
Love that.
Don't you get eggs from the hatchery?
You get eggs from the hatchery, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't bring them there. They would take them from the hatchery.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Why, Tommy, that's an excellent moral of that story. And then who's the
Billy?
guy?
No, then Billy said.
No, but who the
don't
teacher?
count your chickens before they hatch.
Oh, that's another great moral.
Yes.
And then, but she
What
has
about
to call on the
you
bad
gotta
kid.
Yeah.
Cross the road.
Dirty Johnny.
Yeah, Dirty Johnny.
Johnny.
Oh God, I got to call on Dirty Johnny. And Johnny, do you have a moral from this story of taking eggs to the? I can't. I would not embarrass myself by trying to do.
Just search
Norm
Norm McDonald.
Norm McDonald. Norm's too good to even try to do
Don't
it.
bleep with Uncle Terry.
What's your moral, Dirty Johnny? Yeah, well, you don't bleep with Uncle Terry when he's been drinking.
And also go with the unedited version that he tells on Stern.
Yeah,
Don't go with the cleaned up version.
No, it
That's
takes 7 or 8 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah, it's an 8-minute setup.
And his jokes aren't even funny. He's funny.
He's funny.
Telling the joke.
The other one was, the light was on.
The moth.
Yeah,
The moth. What are you doing here? I'm a dentist. Your light was on. But the funny part is he starts telling him his life, I don't know. I'm down about things.
In a coma.
Yeah.
Did I tell you, by the way, the other day after Monday Night Sports Talk, I think you had business to attend to, so you pretty much bolted right away.
Yeah.
Pat and I sat in here and I played him the Hitler's dog bit from Norm Macdonald.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought I was going to have to pick him up off the ground.
Yeah, he gave a good...
I think the coma one is the funniest.
That one's
because
pretty good,
you do
too.
not see that one
The
coming.
coma?
Not at all.
The coma story.
Oh, where he has to go in for the wife?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're joking.
Why don't we take a little break here?
Oh, God, wait. I have to do
I'm
that.
sorry, Chris. I hate to throw this to you
That's
at
all
that
right.
point.
What do you
but,
got for us, Reavers?
I pretty much
this is
started this,
crazy.
John, so that's my fault anyway. Let's talk about our friends at North American Banking Company. And you know what? I love my friends at North American Banking Company. In fact, I'm due for a visit here.
Yeah, you're a little overdue. But
I gotta run the numbers.
Bilski called me. He said you got 3 more days until they default.
But here's what's neat. Your Faribault Lakers, Joe, are playing the Hastings Hawks today in some heated Class A baseball action. So guess where I'm going?
I would imagine you're going to the game.
And I'm going to the Hastings location.
To get some money?
No, to give them some money.
Right past Todd Field?
They're going to need all that. I think it is actually very close to that. But it's really cool. And that's why when you walk in any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations, you can tell the difference because it's banking done differently. And that's why I decided to make the switch from my big national bank. And it doesn't matter whether you're looking to buy a home, maybe finance a new home renovation project, or perhaps get that new car that you've been dreaming about. My friends at North American Banking Company are going to be able to help you out. I mentioned the Hastings location, but you can also see them in Roseville, 50th in France, Woodbury, Shoreview, and also Maple Grove. They do offer all of the same online and mobile banking options as the other banks, but the difference is you're going to get the unparalleled service of a community bank. And also, they are locally owned and operated. And here's why that's important. That means that loan decisions are made right here in the Twin Cities, not sent out of state. So this helps you business owners solve problems quickly and expand your business with confidence. So check them out online today. It's nabankco.com to learn more. Once again, it's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
In other news, one of the strongest earthquakes ever recorded struck off Russia's sparsely populated Far East early Wednesday, sending tsunami waves into Japan, Hawaii, and the U.S. West Coast. Several people injured, but none gravely, and no major damage has been reported so far. Authorities warn the risk from the 8.8 magnitude quake could last for hours, and millions of people potentially in the path of the waves initially were told to move away from the shore or seek high ground. The worst appeared to have passed for most areas, including the U.S., Japan, and the affected parts of Russia. But Chile raised its tsunami warning to the highest level for most of its lengthy Pacific coast and said it was evacuating hundreds of people. In the immediate aftermath of the quake off Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula, residents fled inland as ports there flooded and several were injured while rushing to leave buildings. In Japan, dozens of people flocked to evacuation centers, hilltop parks, and rooftops in towns on the Pacific coast with fresh memories of the 2011 earthquake and tsunami that caused a nuclear disaster.
In one of the Jack Carr books, Jack's Heroes escaping me. Jack hasn't had a book in some time now, and I'm waiting for the new one. Yeah. Who's his hero?
Jack Carr.
Yeah. Who's his, former SEAL and guy that solves all the problems? Well, anyway, there's one book that takes place exactly where that earthquake originated. up in the wilds of eastern.
James Reese?
Yeah, James Reese. And in that book, Reese walks across Russia to get to a bad guy on the other side of the country. Oh, it's just wonderful.
Doesn't. Come on.
Yep.
That's 3 years of walking.
Did Sarah Palin see him?
Took a long time. Yeah.
Okay.
Took a long time.
I don't want to make light of any of the tragedy that might ensue from the tsunami, but this is one of the reasons why we absolutely need social media in our lives. There is a gentleman that's a loyal GLer and a great follow on Twitter. His name is Cicero MN, and he alerted us to this specific tweet.
Yeah.
A gentleman alerted the National Weather Service in Grand Forks. A follower by the name of King Squeaks III said, "Hey, NWS Grand Forks, where is the tsunami warning for Fargo? Apparently people are really searching for this." And the National Weather Service in Grand Forks said, well, there is no threat for tsunami impacts in North Dakota, to which this gentleman said, God help us, that there are people looking for tsunami effects in Grand Forks.
You kind of lost me there. Was that supposed to be funny?
No, it meant this idiot actually was worried about a tsunami effect in Fargo.
The
original.
Guy?
Yeah, the original guy.
Oh. There wouldn't be a tsunami in there because there's no ocean.
There you go.
Really paying attention at all there, to be honest.
In other news, this story recently added to the newscast because we wanted to give our technological brains a workout here.
Yeah.
Mayor Patrick Collins of Cheyenne, Wyoming, announcing plans for an AI data center that would consume more electricity than all homes in the state combined.
Okay, now see, I disagree. I don't like that.
Facility. Thanks, Porky Pig.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That's all, folks.
The facility, a joint venture between energy infrastructure company Tallgrass and AI data center developer Crusoe, would start at 1.8 gigawatts and scale up to 10 gigawatts of power use.
Okay, wait a minute, John.
Yeah.
The AI would be a factory or something, right? A plant.
Correct.
Is it just full of computers? Is that the demand on the grid?
Sure.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Yeah.
The project's energy demands are difficult to overstate for Wyoming. The initial 1.8 gigawatt phase, consuming 15.8 terawatt hours annually, is more than 5 times the electricity used by every household in the state combined.
Well, then let's not do
this. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Yeah. That figure represents 91% of the 17.3 terawatt hours currently consumed by all of Wyoming's residential, commercial, and industrial sectors.
Well, Wyoming, that's not, they're not using a lot of electricity in Wyoming.
It says in the story at one point that's one of the reasons there's not many people in Wyoming. So
because there's no electricity.
Huh?
Right, John?
Well, no electricity because there's no people. I think the other way around.
Well, anyway, that AI factory would take it all up.
That's correct.
Yeah. Well,
glad we got that out.
Yeah.
The U.S.
Run that by me again.
Yeah.
Well, you build a big plant with nothing but computers in it. She's going to use all your energy. See?
Okay.
But Cheyenne is a big city.
Not that big.
Never been there, not that big. Okay.
The U.S. economy.
You can't even tell me where Cheyenne, Wyoming
right
is.
in the middle of the state.
Yeah, well, you're wrong.
It's up near St. Cloud.
Near St. Cloud, then.
The U.S. economy grew this spring after a slowdown earlier this year, partially caused by tariffs. The nation's gross domestic product, the broadest measure of economic activity, grew at an annual rate of 3% in April, May, and June, according to a report today from the Commerce Department. That's a turnaround from the 3 previous months when GDP contracted at a rate of 0.5%. Both measures somewhat distorted by big swings in international trade as businesses and consumers braced for and then reacted to President Trump's tariffs. Imports surged early in the year as businesses tried to stockpile foreign goods before the tariffs took effect. That had the effect of depressing GDP in January, February, and March.
In the southeast corner of Wyoming, Cheyenne is basically on the border of Colorado, Joe. The population was 65,132 at the 2020 census.
Hell, that's about the size of La Crosse.
It's smaller than Bismarck.
Where you have to pay $400 to chop down a tree.
Neat country, though. No, that would be Eau Claire.
Oh, that was Eau Claire.
Whoops.
Dang it.
Meanwhile, speaking of tariffs, the Tax Foundation, an organization usually considered conservative and center-right, says the tariffs are going to cost consumers as they kick in. They point out in 2024, the U.S. imported about $221 billion in food products, 74% of which faced the Trump tariffs. While these imports currently face tariff rates ranging from 10% to 30%, they will exceed 30% for some countries if the reciprocal tariffs go into effect on August 1st. The top 5 exporters of food products to the U.S. in order are Mexico, Canada, the EU, Brazil, and China, accounting for about 62% of total U.S. food imports.
What food do we get from China? Serious question.
Chow mein.
No, it's a serious question. What food? I don't want any. What are we getting?
Rice.
I suppose rice. Some
The
sort
U.S.
of
imports a variety of
dog meat?
food products from China, including fresh and processed fruits and vegetables,
Fruits and
seafood, and various specialty items.
Food specialty items.
Popular examples include green tea, garlic, mushrooms, and even some meat products, of which I would never touch.
Either would I.
Yeah.
Remember the time that someone heated up garlic mushrooms in the microwave down the hall, and Joe had a tirade?
Well, I should have had a tirade. Who would do such a thing?
You hate garlic.
Tilapia cod.
No, I love garlic. I just don't want to smell it.
Various types of shrimp.
Boy, I might not eat shrimp anymore.
Dim sum.
I don't like dim sum.
House Oversight Committee declining a request yesterday from Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyers to grant her immunity in exchange for testifying to Congress. Maxwell's lawyers said in a letter Tuesday that Maxwell would be willing to testify if she received formal immunity alongside other requests. But a spokesperson for Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer said the committee would respond to the letter soon, but will not consider granting congressional immunity for her testimony. The committee subpoenaed Maxwell last week for a deposition from prison that will take place on August 11th.
Okay, stop right there.
Yes,
If
sir.
you ever think that the American public will be told the truth about all of this, there's a great example of how it works. You kind of wet everybody's whistle with, if she got immunity, she'd really sing. And now all of a sudden you say, well, you're not going to get immunity. So therefore, we're not going to hear from her. In the meantime, did you see what the Trumper might do? He's seriously considering pardoning P. Diddy.
I saw that.
We could pardon P. Diddy, but we're not going to pardon, just conveniently enough, we can't pardon Ghislaine Maxwell because there are too many people that are going to tell us we can't do that.
I have a question. I missed that. I did not see that. What's the president's rationale?
I didn't read it because
pardoning?
who knows if it's true or not.
Oh, you went Reavers on it.
No, I was on the Drudge Report.
Gotcha.
But I didn't read the story.
There's been several stories pointing to sources that say the administration has talked about it and that Trump is in favor
And
of
then
it.
there's another one on the Drudge Report today. FBI in possession of the 1 hour of missing tape or 1 minute.
The 1 minute, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Are you ever going to hear about that?
Yeah.
A, who knows if they're really in possession of it or not? And B, if they are, you're not going to hear about it. This involves everyone. That's why we're never going to learn anything. We're watching a movie.
Yeah, throw those items on the pile of other things the government isn't telling us and will never tell us because it would give their secrets away. There's a reason why we don't know that, and we never, ever will.
We're never going to know it.
In all honesty,
Ever.
should we start a list, like the Royce list, of the things we're never going to find out about?
I bet you could Google it. The list is long.
Yeah.
Like 9/11, JFK, all that stuff.
9/11.
We know everything about JFK,
don't tell me you're one of these nutcases that believes that we did it.
What about contrails, Joe? They're a real thing.
Yes, they are.
What about Chupacabra? I used to listen to Art Bell all the time.
This is Art Bell, West of the Rockies.
What about Mel's Hole out in Washington? You guys know about that one?
No.
There are different websites than
Is that
we
a
are,
bar?
apparently.
It's
I find it very interesting that when the heat got on, you dug yourself a hole.
He was talking about Mel.
with no bottom. There is no bottom to this
So if you
hole.
throw a rock, it just keeps going.
Well, Kenny, it would have to come out the other side.
Google it, man.
Well, but Kenny, it would come out the other side of the earth.
I didn't make this up.
It would be burned up in the core.
Yeah, don't try to debate me. This isn't my thing.
Mel's Hole.
Mel's Hole is an urban legend originating from a story told on the radio show Coast to Coast.
It's another Art Bell BS thing.
Is it a legend? Is it?
It says it's a legend.
How do you know?
Is it?
Oh, it's a big hole.
What's
Come on,
what's
Tucker.
the hole in?
Give me the news, Tucker.
What's that pit in one of the Stan countries where the fire never goes out?
Oh, that's Red Adair.
No, it's not Red Adair.
The Red Adair hole.
Red Adair heat-capped oil fires. What? No, there's in one of the Stan countries there. It's called the Devil's Hole or the Devil's Fire or something, and the fire never goes out. You can't put it out.
Is it called the Door to Hell?
It might be. It might be.
Okay.
It's one of the Stan countries.
Devil's Cigarette Lighter.
No.
The Sahara Desert of Algeria.
No, never mind.
Devil's Haircut.
Central Asia, often referred to as the Stan countries. Okay, these countries, there are several environmental concerns, but one particular pit in one of my favorite Stan countries, Turkmenistan. It sounds like it has an identity crisis.
Yes.
Has been burning for decades.
Thank you.
This is the Darvaza gas crater, also known as the Gates of Hell.
Yeah. Never goes out.
It's a natural gas field.
Yeah, it just keeps coming up, the gas.
Right.
Never,
Why don't we
never
tap
goes
that
out.
SOB?
You would think we should.
All right.
It's
Thanks
official.
for that looking fire.
It's official, and I don't think we need a study for this, but older Americans worried about cognitive decline can stay sharper for longer by exercising both their bodies and their brains and eating healthier. I just, on my watch, got a bulletin, so let me break it to you. The Federal Reserve held interest rates steady. So interest rates.
Is that good or bad?
That's real bad.
Really?
Well, I think it'll be all right.
Joe, does your watch bring you the news?
No.
Just
Mine
tells me
either.
the time.
Anyway, if you know what, if you exercise and use your brain, you're going to stay somewhat.
Kind of makes sense, doesn't it, John?
It really does, doesn't it, Joe?
And I like to do that puzzle in the paper every day where you have to find the 6 things that are different in the 2 cartoon panels.
You do like that, don't
Boy,
you?
I love that
Is
one.
that really how you exercise your brain?
That's how I do,
You
man.
just have to use it?
And I memorize the counties.
Oh, I would. It's
I gotta
much
do
more
that.
fun to memorize.
I'm going to do the governors next. Thanks, John.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just reading about
Bye,
the Fed.
John.
That's
you're not going away. You're just done.
That's not good news. But you know what is good news? The fact that the Fed didn't cut the interest rate.
Well, you're all right.
Well, you knew that was going to happen.
It's okay.
You know, it's a great day not to have money.
Yeah, and it's going to continue that way. Let's talk about saving right now at Hofferman Water in Connecticut. You know what? Do you want to upgrade the quality of the water inside your home?
Hell yes.
I bet you do. But your first step, Joe, is you have to get on the schedule. Otherwise, they can't help you. So you got to get on that schedule and have them come out for that free water analysis.
Is it city and rural they do?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But they do, however, though, I should point this out because somebody did email this to me maybe a week or so ago, and I got back to that person. They do have a territory. All right, so contact Hofferman Water in Connecticut.
You got to have limits.
But the thing is, if they just happen to be outside your territory, they'll still recommend somebody that deals with Connecticut directly.
I see.
And put you in touch with them. So that's why they're a great resource in that regard. But you have to have them come out to get that free water analysis. Just go to their website, HoffermanWater.com. When you go to that website, you can see every single water treatment system that they have to offer. And it doesn't matter what you're in the market for. Maybe it's a brand new water softener. Maybe it's an iron, rust, and odor filtration system, or it's a brand new drinking water system. Any one of those new systems from Connecticut can do so many things that other water softeners just simply cannot do. It's going to cut down on your salt usage, but the key difference, it's going to protect your appliances. And that's because bad water can affect almost every aspect of your home. So, HoffermanWater.com or call them directly at 612-895-2440 and book that appointment today. Hofferman Water has been proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Please do me a favor and mention that you heard about them here on the Garage Logic Podcast.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
WCCO has a Channel 4 newscast at 10 o'clock. I don't know if this was on their newscast. I just saw it on their website. They've committed a sin against all that Minnesota stands for and represents.
Oh, no.
They have betrayed their trust. They have denigrated our very lives here in the heart of summer. They have a story reporting that leaves are already starting to display their fall colors. Yeah.
Come on.
They're displaying their fall colors in Plymouth. Maple trees have turned yellow, orange, and red associated with the autumn months. And we consult a forester named Paul Buck, who works for Plymouth. And he believes that the ground is saturated, the trees are stressed, and thus exhibiting early signs of the change of color. A responsible news organization in Minnesota would not break the hearts of people with news of changing leaf colors this early.
Were they out of news and they had to go to the file cabinet where it was?
Oh, this is hard hitting compared to some of the stuff they do. You know, how to wash your vegetables. But this is a shame. They did not take into consideration our feelings.
Okay.
Our feelings.
I was triggered personally.
Yeah, it's very triggering to picture this.
They didn't issue a trigger warning.
According to Buck, maple trees don't like floods, or when exposed to them, the trees begin to shut down early because there's no oxygen in the soil. And in shutting down early, Buck says the tree will survive another year, but that means the tree has less energy for the following year, which can cause smaller leaves. So not only are you getting an early color, but on that very same tree the following year, the leaves might be tiny.
Come on.
And that leads eventually to death.
Wow.
The tree's death.
Did they bring up conifers, Joe?
No.
A wet summer, the shallow root base that the conifers have makes them prone to tipping over in a strong wind. So we could be losing a lot of
Are conifers pine trees?
Yeah.
Yeah, but when they go over, the whole root ball goes over. They don't crash into your house. They end up laying on it.
The great thing about that, and I'll back you up, is that I cut it off at the stump, and I hook up to a tractor, and I pull the whole tree away.
Yeah.
You don't have to trim it out or chunk it up.
Right.
Just pull it away. Yep.
Only because they come to us all the way from Marloth Park in Mpumalanga Province, South Africa, from our friends, the Traveling Lymans. It was on this day.
Man. Today is already July 30th.
Well, still July. That's what I tell myself.
There you go.
I can do that for one more day. It's still July. On this day in 1805, Lieutenant Zebulon M. Pike received orders to seek the headwaters of the Mississippi and to find location for a fort somewhere on the upper reaches of the river. Pike did not locate the source of the river, but he did choose a site for what became Fort Snelling. Mm-hmm. Well, I got news for you, Zebulon. If you chose Fort Snelling as the site, you didn't get very far upstream. No wonder he didn't find the headwaters.
He saw the two come Minnesota and Mississippi and said, I got it.
You know what he said?
He stopped.
He said, close enough.
Yeah,
Close enough.
He said, bleep it, this is good
Who's
enough.
going to verify this at this point? We don't even have a map
He's
yet.
saying to himself, it's 1805.
Yes.
Who's going to check
We don't even,
me?
we don't have computers yet. Nobody will know.
On this day.
Joe, today is July 30th.
Well, Chris, on this day in 1835, Army Lieutenant Albert Lee, I bet that's where we got the town's name, commanding a group of U.S. Dragoons, arrived at the future site of his namesake city.
I believe he was a prince at one point. Prince Albert Lee.
Oh.
On this day,
July 30th.
What day is it?
July 30th, sir.
On this day in 2019, sports disappointment history, Wild GM Paul Fenton was fired.
Oh, man. What a disaster that guy was.
It didn't turn out too well, did it? And that's the only sports disappointment we endured on this day.
You mean July 30th, 9 days before the Vikings' first preseason game?
Oh, my word.
Jeez.
What's wrong with Justin Jefferson?
Hey, Hammy, he's fine. Do you realize there's a football game tomorrow night?
No. NFL?
Yes. It's the annual Hall of Fame induction game.
That'll be on TV.
Hey, and it'll outdraw every game in the World Series.
They're so thirsty.
What scrubs are playing?
Who knows? Oh. Although I think the local kid's playing for the Chargers.
Quarterback, yeah. The North
Johnny's guy, Trey Lance.
NDSU kid, Trey Lance.
Was he drafted by the Chargers?
No, he was drafted by the 49ers and has been with about 58 teams.
I was going to say that was 4 teams ago, I think.
Bah!
There's a game tomorrow night. Oh, that's...
Why did I do that to you?
That's almost as bad as Channel 4 telling me the leaves are turning colors.
Right.
Abrogate, is the word abrogate?
Yes.
They're abrogating.
You tell me, chumstick.
I don't know.
Attaboy. Well, what's that? Mr. President, please use the word abrogate in a sentence.
Abrogation. That's when
abrogate.
Abrogate. That's when a magician cannot get into the front yard. He says, abrogate. And the gate just stands still, so he digs himself a hole.
Oh.
Abrogate.
Thank you, sir.
It's a gate that doesn't appreciate magicianry. Harry Potter.
Do you know that he does more charity work? The only other president that did more charity work was Carter. W spends a lot of time with charities, giving money in his time.
W wasn't all bad, was he? He was kind of
he got a bad rap, but he was a smart guy. He just would.
I don't know about that.
You would cringe. Your toes would curl when he was going to say something. You're like, don't screw it up.
How about when the reporter threw shoes at him?
I loved it.
And he dodged them.
No, he dodged correctly, too.
With a smirk.
Yeah.
You're going to play this game? I can dodge you all day.
That's your best shot?
I'm going to abrogate myself to the left.
It was some Iranian or something, wasn't it?
Roger.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Roger.
Thank you, sir. Mr. President, you've said that.
Okay, you're proving my. I'm not proving my point with that one, Roger.
Play another one. I just missed the guy. We used to have a whole sheet of them.
As yesterday's positive report card shows, children do learn.
That's right. Thank you, W.
And then we can't play it anymore because it's backed up with great music bed, but. As they say in Texas, yeah, you fool me once, shame, and he just lost it right in the middle. It like a puff of smoke just went away.
Our troops in Iraq have fought bravely. They have done everything we have asked them to do. Where mistakes have been made, the responsibility rests with me.
All right, that wasn't a funny
that one was
one.
too funny.
Well, I'm just looking at the sound sheet, the old GL sound sheet.
Well, we had a ton of them, but that's okay. They're gone now.
Strategery. That guy's an American hater.
Yeah.
That's Caliendo.
That's Frank Caliendo.
Yes. How do we know?
Thank you, GL.
How do we know it's Caliendo?
Mr. President, would you mind signing us off and encouraging the fine folks to join us on social?
Yes, you can go to sign up on YouTube. Now you got to spell it out. YouTube. And you can watch us. Go to garagelogic.com. You can sign up for the town council. You can remove audio brush down in Crawford, Texas, when you get out of the white pick-em-up truck, because you drive truck all the way around your gravel road. Anything else I missed? Get ready for the state fair.
Social media.
Social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm not sure what that means.
Do you have a handle on social media at all?
I got a handle right here. That's my CB handle. The Big Cheese. Big Cheese. Come on out and talk to me, truckers. Teddy Bear. Breaker. Anyone there? Come on back, truckers, and talk to Teddy Bear.
Thank you, sir.
Cha. What does that mean?
I I don't know.
I'm not sure.
It is time once again that we check in with our guy, Mr. Money Talk. Josh Arnold is with us once again here in Garage Logic, and now is the time for you to do the same. So do not delay. Do exactly what I did and pick up that phone and dial 952-925-5608. That number once again is 952-925-5608. When you call that number, you're going to get Josh, and he is there for you for that free, yes, I did use the word free, 48-minute financial consultation with absolutely zero obligation, and he will always give you the straight talk. He will never give you the sugar-coated advice, and he is on the line with us once again right here in Garage Logic. And boy, Josh, it's a big day today because it's Fed Day. It's earnings day. You're telling me there's a big surprise with the GDP number?
Let's start with a surprise. Surprise, Sergeant Carter. GDP growth up 3% in the last quarter versus 2.3% estimate. The PCE indicator, personal consumption expenditure indicator, was at 2.1% for the quarter, down. Two very, very good numbers. PCE indicator, or expenditure indicator, is one of the Federal Reserve's favorite gauges, and that does say inflation is getting close to their 2% goal at 2.1. GDP, gross domestic product, up significantly, saying that the economy looks to be a little bit stronger than had been anticipated. There are numerous, we'll say, economists, market sayers that said that Trump's policies would preclude a economic slowdown or much worse, and many were predicting even negative GDP growth. Some would say also that the amount of money that's coming from tariffs has helped that GDP growth, but if so, and with the PCE indicator close to the Fed's 2% target, you've got to say that the economy is still reasonably strong. Now, the Federal Reserve was met yesterday and today. They're somewhere around 1 o'clock. They'll come out with their pronouncement that could be market moving. It may not be, but could be, as it has in the past. The Fed, in my estimation, does not really need to cut interest rates and may not need to cut interest rates for the balance of the year. And they still might come out and say, well, they're still worried about the impact of tariffs on inflation, despite the data that says inflation at this point is not picking up. That said, the Fed, could, and there could be numerous Fed officials that say, hey, it's now time to start cutting, and you might see the Fed cut 25 basis points this quarter and continue that for the next several months. I would like to see the Fed stop on their quantitative tightening, that is, selling bonds into the marketplace. And I think that would be be very helpful, as that could, in fact, continue to lower longer-term interest rates, which are used by banks to set mortgages. Those are a few things that we'll say I'll be watching with the Fed, or I'll say monitoring with the Fed, their views on inflation, which I think are and have been moderating. The only bogey right now is the price of oil. Well, still below $70 a barrel, has moved up at least in the last week. But that might not be on the Fed's radar. Yes, housing prices are still up. Yes, insurance prices continue to rise. And those two things, plus the price of, we'll say, gasoline at the pump, will continue to have impact on the consumer price index and will make the CPI more sticky to come down to, closer to 2%. There, the Fed could say, well, the CPI is still above target, even though the personal consumption expenditure index, at least for the last quarter, has been down. Moving on from the Fed, and I do believe, and what they may or may not do with their interest rate policy, Microsoft and Meta are the two big earnings announcements after the close. Much will be focused on expenditures or capital expenditures with both companies and how they're promoting or growing their artificial intelligence business and how they're also monetizing both. Both of those will be much watched in after hours plus commentary. Tomorrow, my two big positions report after the close. That's Apple and Amazon. I think Apple could surprise on the upside, but the stock could go down $10 or up maybe a little bit more than that should Apple say anything positive in their guidance about artificial intelligence and what they're doing there. The big key with the numbers has been guidance for the next quarter. So we'll see what goes on there. Today, or I'll say this morning, Hershey's beat on their chocolate sales were up, and people liked Hershey's. So I guess everybody gets a little kiss with that. Selling Oreos, on the other hand, at Mondelez, not so much. I think people would rather have a chocolate bar than a bunch of cookies. But we'll see what happens there going forward. But do pay attention to earnings. This is a big week, and as we said yesterday, focus is going to be this week on the Fed, on earnings, and on Friday's jobs number before we get back to thinking about tariffs and trade deals.
Excellent advice, as always, Mr. Money Talk. You heard him, GLers. Now is the time for you to pick up the phone and make the call for that free 48-minute financial consultation with absolutely zero obligation. And you do that just like I did by dialing 952-925-5608, where you always get straight talk and never, ever sugar-coated advice. Josh, once again, thank you so much for the time and the chat. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Look forward to it. Thanks, Chris.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorser.